Y'all ready to go see some seed go in the ground?
And the first thing we're gonna start with is corn.
Hey, there we go, right there. Right at 1 3/4 inches. We'll lower it another half notch.
Alright, I'm finally headed to the party.
Yeah, he ain't moving, that ain't good.
Been hearing kind of an intermittent squealing. We'll re-shim these 2 units.
We got some logs out here, so I'm gonna go move them out of the way. This is for everybody who says, I don't work hard enough on the farm. Look at this. I don't even know what this is. And it's nasty. It's got poo all over it. Ew. I would be wearing my boots, but my husband flooded the our laundry room a week ago. And my boots are still wet. So I'm wearing my tennis shoes. Oh, that's as far as it goes. Alright. I don't know how far he's gonna plant, but anyways, this is Kelly Griggs out here doing pretty much everything. Back in the sprayer I go. Multi-talented, multitasked. That's me. People say go to the gym. Welcome to my gym. The reason I get out and get the chunks of wood that's left over from them clearing out the tree lines is some of those can get stuck up in the coulters and then it's not gonna plant right. Before we've done that where we've had to literally take the planter into the shop or bring out hammers, and one year was a saw, and get those dislodged from that. So it's important when you're out here spraying, that person is gonna look for, I mean, you can't see them all, but I mean, those were pretty clear as day. And it just helps out the person planting. It also saves you from damaging any coulters or front row units. And right now with supplies very limited, I'm gonna do my best to make sure that I mitigate the problem of, you know, I saw it, I can get rid of it. Now, if the driver breaks stuff, well, that's on the driver. So I'm just trying to do my part. Team Griggs over here to make sure that all of our equipment is running good.
Oh, another sunset out in the cornfield. I hate operating equipment this time of day though. Love sunset, but don't like being on equipment because you drive it in the sun, you can't see much of anything. It was really bad a few minutes ago, that glare of that sun. We almost done with this farm. It's got a couple more acres, and then that'll be 100 acres down for the day. We'll go across the fence line, get started on a 60-acre farm. Don't know how long. Don't know how much we get done on it. Just depends on how long I keep my eyes open tonight, I reckon. We're gonna give her a go though. Zach was able to get all the fertilizer spread that I needed to spread that will get me through what I can get planted tomorrow. Then we got rain coming back in again Sunday night and Monday morning. Surprise, surprise. I think Kelly's about to get the spraying wrapped up. Maybe I'll get lucky and she'll bring me some kind of dinner tonight. I know she ain't gonna drive all the way to Jackson, but I sure could go for some Five Guys right about now. I know I'm sure not going to ask her to bring me anything because I know she's had 2 hard days, done a lot of lifting of the seed while I mixed in the inoculant, been running the sprayer, filling up by herself, running here, running there. I know she is, well, her body just can't handle that physical stress on it like she used to be able to do. She's going to be paying the price next few days. But I know I couldn't do it without her, and I sure am grateful she puts all that aside and gets the job done. If you ain't figured it out by now, that's kind of the theme on this farm. Do whatever it takes to get the job done, no matter who it is or what needs to be done.
Back to fill up again, all by my lonesome. This is a pretty farm though. I love to take sunset pictures here, especially those trees in the back. So I'm gonna fill up and then on this whole middle section, and then I'm gonna get this other section done park everything, and then figure something out for dinner. Probably go make something and come back out, let him eat while he plants, or I might plant, I don't know. We'll just go from there. Really don't want him out here too late by himself. Loads of fun. Uh-oh. R2 section valve not responding. I'm gonna have to phone a friend. Oh no. No. So I phoned a friend, aka Zach, because I'm not calling Matt. Zach and I run the sprayer. I'm gonna call the person who runs it 80%, 90% of the time. The solenoid, the valve that shuts off that section, was not shutting it off. I was like, not today on a Saturday. So Zach suggested doing a hard reset. So I did a hard reset, waited about a minute and a half, came back up here, restarted everything, restarted the pump, did a section control off to make sure that that section, which was right there, finally turned off, because what it was saying was it was not closing itself shut, so therefore it was constantly running. Never seen that before when I've been running it. Zach hasn't either, but with all this stuff going on with Shanae, Shaniqua, I don't know, she's gonna get a name. I just want an easy planting, that's all. But it seems to have worked, so that's good. The error code is logged in here, so I'm gonna go back and make a mental note of it just in case it happens again. So when stuff flashes up, we go to the diagnostic center. You'll go down to trouble codes and it'll tell you each of the ones. Now the boom control system, that's me. When I inactivate it, it does it every time. The left rear wheel speed was actually because I was spinning out in there. And then that was what was coming up, was the R2 section valve system. It says it's inactive. We won't even, right, really? And then it just keeps them all in here, but it'll tell you if you've got one that's active or inactive. So it's nice to have because it gives you a code number. So when you call the very expensive John Deere, you can tell them what code it is. You can even look it up on Google and it'll tell you.
Now, I didn't get the camera rolling soon enough, but Kelly just brought me supper. Now she's trying to get the dog back in the side-by-side. Well, it's not Five Guys. It's even better. Home-cooked burgers and fries. Man, I've got an awesome wife. Eating supper at 9:46 is a heck of a lot better than eating it at 11:30 or so and then wake up in the middle of the night because you got heartburn because you ate right before you went to sleep. Try and get this down real quick and get back at it. Well, I'm gonna call it a day. It's about 10:30. I got caught up to what Kelly got sprayed today, and she didn't quite get this farm done, and really don't want to plant it and then have her drive over it with a sprayer, because what she drives over is a good chance it won't come up. So we'll just call it a day and get on it again in the morning. Didn't quite get 150 acres done today, but we did get 132 acres done. So I had a real good day running. All right, I'm gonna run back to the office and get a little bit of footage downloaded, go home, get some shut-eye, and get ready for another long day tomorrow. I'll see you in the morning. Kelly already started spraying. I'm keeping a little bit of grease in here. Getting ready for another long day.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. Welcome to day 3. Today is just me and Matt. We had planned to be out here at 7, but he got in at like 11:30. I got in around 10:30. You know what? We're tired. So our alarms went off at 6, then we just kind of we're like, no. So we can do that though. I kept telling him like my boss is gonna be mad I'm late for work. But so yeah, it's just me and him. We're gonna try and get, I think, around 120 acres done today. He really wanted to get all of this done, but so he got the, what I call the front half done, and now he's gonna do the second half. I'm only gonna spray the green grass because we did all this dirt work, and then I'm gonna head to the next field. And we'll be back around the house, so when he gets back I'll help him fill up with seed, and then we got a lot of cookie cutter farms to do today, like a 13 acre, 7 acre, 37, 40, and 26. So it's just gonna take some time.
All right, 0 acres down, 134 more to go. And I don't mean we only have 134 acres to go to get done with corn planting. My goal today is to get 134 acres of corn planted. That's all we can get planted right now because that's all the chicken litter that we've got spread. And the guy spreads my chicken litter. He'll be back out tomorrow morning if it doesn't rain to get back on spreading the litter. He had other obligations this weekend, so 134 acres, we should get caught up with him. But I know we're not going to get any corn planted tomorrow or any chicken litter spread. We got 80% chance of rain starting tonight, 90% tomorrow, and then 60% of rain tomorrow night. Looks like we could get somewhere between a half an inch and inch and a half of rain. Not ideal. I'd love to get my corn planted before it rains, but hey, it's springtime, that's what we deal with. And it looks like we got a pretty good forecast after that rain moves out. Not really seeing any chances of rain next week after that rain comes through tomorrow, so should be able to get the corn planting wrapped up next week without any problems. But anyway, 134 acres done today will leave me pretty happy when that rain hits tomorrow. Because at this point last week, I didn't have a clue when or if we get any seed in the ground.
So I'm having to literally find the grass areas and just spray that. So my my spray monitor looks pretty funny. Because Zach and Matt did a whole bunch of dirt work over here. There's really no point in me going over it and messing it up. So yeah, I'm just gonna go there, have half of that to do, and then head back there.
Well, there's the first pipe we put in, man. It's holding up well. Able to plant through that little spot right there that we had to drive around beforehand. That was money well spent right there.
I am done, and look who finally got started. Yeah, my windows are dirty. So yes, we do use markers. Because he did all this dirt work, I'm guessing he's using the marker because none of the where'd he go? Hey Matt, you're off a little bit because you put that new culvert in, babe. Also, this field is famous for losing GPS signal, so I lost it twice, and it's because of the trees. So I wouldn't be surprised if he lost it as well. So I use the markers during planting soybeans behind wheat because you cannot see anything. So yeah. Oh look, he's messing up his good dirt work. Well, at least you can see it, right? Ooh, she's a dirty bird. I have caught up to Matt. Next up is 1197. LR, which is refuge, so that's, I need all those bags. And then I have to find the 1077 in all these somewhere, and I have a feeling it's at the bottom of this. Yep. Oh, so now I need those. I don't need all of those. So those I'm gonna have to put over there. It's just, it can never be convenient. I think we might have some over, no, this is 0953, so it's just playing the numbers game as to where, I think both these pallets are 1847. That is the corn maze. So again, we're gonna shuffle everything around.
All right, 30 acres done. Then on this farm, we want to run back to the shop because my next farms are right around the shop, and We gotta load up with some more seed. It's time to change varieties. All right, we're switching over from Pioneer 1464 to Pioneer 1077. We're going to put that in 9 of the 12 units, and then in 3 of the 12 units, we're going to put this 1197R in it. This 1197 is just a straight Roundup variety. It does not have any kind of genetic traits for insect protection. We're using it as our refuge on our earlier season corn. Then when we switched to our later season corn, we've got another different refuge variety that we'll put in there. Now, when we were filling up with seed, I mentioned to you that one of the varieties we were putting in was a straight Roundup Ready variety that did not have any GMO traits for insect protection. And whenever we plant varieties that have GMO traits for insect protections, we're required to plant a refuge along with it. And because we're in cotton growing county, we're required to plant 20% of our acres into a refuge, whereas I believe growers that are in non-cotton producing counties can get away with a 5% refuge, because corn and cotton share the same gene to protect against Lepidoptera pests. And because we didn't put any refuge in with our first variety, because the manufacturer does not offer a refuge variety in that maturity, we're this time on this load and for the rest of our corn acres, instead of 20% refuge, we're going to be planting 25% refuge to help us catch up. So out of the 12 rows on our planter, we got 3 rows with a refuge variety, and the other 9 rows have a variety with an insect trait in them. And the thinking behind this is the reason you need a refuge is because if you plant all just one variety out there on all your acres that's got insect protection, eventually the target pest you're trying to control will become resistant to that trait. And then the trait will be worthless and it won't control anything. So by planting a refuge, what we're trying to accomplish is to leave enough pests out there that are not affected by the toxin to reproduce with any insects that might have survived the toxin, and keep that trait that's resistant to the toxin, keep it suppressed in the population to where it'll keep on controlling the insects. Now, what we're trying to do by mixing it on certain rows in the planter is, if you plant just one lot, say you plant 20% of your acres in one block that does not have the insect protection, well then insects can come in and can devastate that crop. What we're hoping to have is, by certain rows in the field that don't have the trait, is we're kind of trying to hide it, but still allow enough insects to come in there and feed on that and reproduce with insects that have survived the trait, and keep the population non-resistant, and also producing a good corn crop at the same time. So what we put on our planter is rows 3, 6, and 9. We put the straight Roundup Ready non-insect protected variety in those hoppers, and then all the rest of the hoppers we put the variety that's got the insect trait in it. And yes, farmers do get spot checked by regulators to make sure that we're in compliance with the refuge requirement. In fact, I've been audited the last 2 years to make sure that I was in compliance. And I was, because I plan ahead for things like that. I was in compliance. However, I know some farmers are not in compliance, and if you get spot checked and you're found not to be in compliance, well then you get a warning the first year, and I think you're automatically audited again the next year. And if you're not in compliance the second year, then you lose the ability to purchase any varieties that have got the BT insect trait in it. But you know, I don't do it just to be in compliance. This trait is really important to us, and it's way more important to us in cotton. Like I said, the corn and cotton share the same trait to protect against lepidopter pests, which are worms. And worms are a much more serious problem in cotton than it is corn. You know, when there's several different caterpillars that attack both cotton and corn. You got the corn earworm, which is the exact same thing as the cotton bollworm. It just depends on which crop you find it in. You also got the European corn borer, which is the most serious worm pest in corn, but that doesn't affect cotton. But in the past, before they came out with this BT trait, in fact, it was one of the first GMO traits that came out. You know, we had some cotton crops that were dang near wiped out by that pest. So, you know, it's a really important trait to us in helping to control insects. And I want to do my part to preserving this trait as long as possible.
2.5 hours later, loaded Matt up with seed, got the third variety for the day loaded, and then I had to hook up the do-all to move that, back it up to the disc so that Carter could power wash it today and get all the mud off of it. And I had to mess with the loader tractor remotes, and remotes and hydraulic hoses don't go very well together. I feel like I wrestled a 400-pound beast, so that's fun. And then while we were loading seed up, I noticed that one of the units was broke, so we had to grab bolts and fix that. One of the front units. So fix that, and then I had to tell a 13-year-old to get on his job because he doesn't want to do his job. He wants to sit around the house and do nothing, or ride his ATV around and not help out. So, you know, 13-year-olds is what they do. So I'm gonna go spray another 35 acres, head over to 40 acres, and then I'm gonna wait on Matt, see if he wants me to spray the last 25. And in between then, I hope to eat something. So, all in a day's work, right?
Alright, it's only about an hour and a half away from dark, and we're only about 70 acres into the 133 I was wanting to get done. Mainly because I had some nagging issues I've been trying to diagnose today, and it has to do with the hydraulic downforce on my planter. As you can tell, we're having to run a lot more downforce today than we have been, mainly because it's dried out so much in the last couple of days, and the ground's starting to get a little hard. It's gotten to where we're starting to lose ground contact just a little in a few specific instances. And I think I've tracked down why it's doing it, but I haven't tracked down the cause. Alright, you see down here my supply pressure. It's supposed to be above 2200 psi. Right now it's running just about 1900 psi. But earlier today, it's fluctuated between 1600 psi up to 1900 psi. And that's why the delta force isn't working exactly like it's supposed to be, because it's supposed to have 2200 psi to get maximum down pressure. Well, either the tractor's not supplying it, or there's a problem in the box, and that's what I haven't been able to determine. I changed the remotes on it, put the delta force on a different remote, and that helped some. That brought the PSI up there close to 1900. But I don't know if I've got a problem with a pressure relief valve back there, just bypassing flow, not letting it build pressure. It could be possibly the air compressor that we put on there, because we put it on the same circuit that we got the delta force on. Or it could be a problem with the hydraulics on the tractor. You know, we had a problem with the levers, had to recalibrate it before planting, and then I had to swap my lift remote around because I wasn't getting enough flow or enough pressure to raise the planter up quick enough. So we got some hydraulic issues here somewhere. I don't know if it's one issue causing everything or multiple issues causing these problems. I don't know if it's on the tractor, it's on the planter, or what. But this rainy spell coming up tomorrow, we want to get down to the shop and do some diagnosing. Maybe might have to get a tech out here if we can. I don't know, but I hope we find out what the problem is. Don't you just hate it when it warms up, you're working at night, got all your lights on, you open up the door to get out, and as soon as you open that door, you get a big flock of bugs that come in and attach themselves to all your monitors and flying all over you. There's one right there. Die. We rolling on along pretty good. We're right in the middle of a big 43-acre farm. It's about 9:30 tonight. We got to finish up this farm, and then we got another 30-acre farm to do. Also got to make our third seed variety change of the day. Really don't know what time we're going to get done tonight, but we're going to plant until we get done, we break down, the rain moves in.
That's Matt. It's 8:18. I have sprayed another load out. I've loaded more seed. I put more seed in the planter. I've moved everything underneath sheds because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. I have not eaten. I've had popcorn today. That's about it. I'm disgusting. I'm nasty. I'm dirty. I just want to take a shower, and I got to go back out in an hour and a half. Planting is just go, go, go. I still got a kid at home, and he hasn't eaten, and my house is probably destroyed, so. But it's worth it. I know tomorrow we'll get like a little bit of break, so unless for some reason it doesn't rain, then we're gonna get a little bit of break. Maybe Matt and I'll go have some Mexican food or something, and just we'll go to bed at 8 o'clock. Gonna go back out here in an hour and two and fill them back up, and then God only knows what time we'll go to bed. So.
Well, we didn't get our 134 acres done today because it is now tomorrow. We're getting close though. We got about, I don't know, 15 more acres or so to go, maybe. Hopefully I can keep my eyes open long enough to get it done. I don't know, maybe I'll title this video First All-Nighter of the Year. Even though it might not really be an all-nighter, but I guess technically it is. We did work all of Sunday night because it's now officially Monday morning. So I guess if you want to get technical about it, that title would not be clickbait. Well, finally, here it is. Last pass of the day. We did it. We got our 135 acres done today. Took longer than it should have for sure, but still, we got it done. In 3 days, we got, somewhere around 365 acres done, I think. About 71% of the corn acres we're going to plant. I mean, technically, if we absolutely had to, we could get the rest of it done in one more day. But 135 acres, and considering we had to change farms 6 times, we changed varieties 3 times, and we had to do some diagnosing too. Not a half bad day. Well, I tell you, I'm fading fast, and we'll get this thing back to the shop, take a shower real quick. I'm gonna go wake Kelly up and tell her I need a back rub. I imagine instead of a back rub though, I'll probably get a punch in the mouth though, so I might ought to not do that. Anyway, guys, this is going to do it for a few days. Got about a 90% chance of rain tomorrow, probably somewhere around 1 inch. But we'll be back in a few days to get the rest of this corn wrapped up, and then turn our attention to getting a few soybeans planted. Anyway, appreciate y'all watching. See you again in a few days. All right, let's see if our pressure came up on this. It was reading, what, 2200 PSI or so, I think. Here's an example of not what to do. Pass in a blind curve. He just had a hydraulic line on the sprayer blow, the one right here in the heart of Jackson. Hey, I'm the guy that needs to fix that way up there. Let me through. You think a 4-year-old sprayer would hydraulic hoses last just a little bit longer than what they did.
Why couldn't it have happened when I like pulled out of the field? Right there.
I want to give a shout out to the fire department here in Jackson for sticking out here, keeping us safe from getting hit by traffic. There's some days I really question my choice of career.